Hi guys, welcome to Money Theory. In today's video, we're going to talk about loans and interest rate. Interest is the cost of borrowing. Principal is the amount that you're borrowing. And when you borrow money, there is an extra cost to it. This is called interest rate. Some people call it an APY, which stands for an annual percentage yield. For example, you borrow $100K for 1 year. The interest rate is 1%. So the extra cost of borrowing is 1% of 100K, which equals 1K. So after 1 year, you will owe 100K plus 1K, totaling 101K. Interest rate depends on how long you borrow. The longer time equals a higher interest rate. How much you borrow, more money equals a higher interest rate. Your income, a lower salary, equals a higher interest rate, and your history. If you're late on paying or you failed to pay loans in the past, you'll get a higher interest rate. The total interest rate can be large if you borrow for a long time or a high interest rate. This chart is for a home loan mortgage payment. It's about 4% for 30 years. It's a low rate, but a long time. And look at the chart above. The yellow is the interest, the green is the principal. Notice that the total interest paid in yellow is almost as big as the total principal paid in green. Interest rate is in a form of a percentage. The total interest equals an interest rate times the amount borrowed. And as you pay down your loan, the amount borrowed decreases and the interest also decreases. Also pay attention to the time that the interest rate refers to. 1% per month is actually 12% per year. 0.5% per day actually means 180% per year. And there are two main kinds of interest. The first kind is simple interest, and this only applies to the principal. For example, 100K at 1% simple interest over 2 years calculates for 100K times 1% equals 1K each year, and 1K times 2 years equals 2K for the total interest paid. So after 2 years, you'll pay back 100K plus 2K, totaling 102K. So let's practice calculating. Google search simple interest calculator, enter the numbers, and see how the results change. So here's an example for the principal of 100K, interest rate of 1% for 2 years. Your total at the end will be 102K. The next type is compound interest, and this is where the interest applies to both the principal and the interest accumulated. So the total interest is more than the simple interest. For example, 100K at 1% interest compounded yearly for 2 years. On the first year, 100K at 1% is 1K interest. And you'll have to add that together. 100K plus 1K equals 101K. So 101K times 1% is $1,010. So 101K plus $1,010 equals 102K and $10. So after 2 years, total pay $102,010. So let's practice calculating. Google search compound interest calculator and play with the numbers and see how the results change. Here's an example, and you'll see 100K with 1% interest for 2 years will total $102,010. Now let's talk about investments. ROI means return on investment, and that is the percent gain from investing. For example, 5% ROI from saving 100K in the bank calculates to 100K times 5%, and that is 5K after 1 year. So the total amount in the bank after 1 year is 100K plus 5K. Another example is 20% ROI from investing 100K into your business. So after 1 year, that is 100K times 20%, and that is 20,000. Interest rate also applies to your savings account. When you save money in the bank, you get interest because the bank borrows from you. And notice on the chart in the right, the rate varies by the bank. The rate also varies each year depending on the bank and Federal Reserve policy. There's also a difference between good and bad debt. It's fine to borrow money if the interest is less than 5% annually. That's considered good debt because the interest rate is low enough for you to use that money and invest. Meanwhile, you should avoid loans with an interest of over 10% annually. This is considered bad debt. For example, credit cards have about 20% annual interest, and payday loans have about 390% annual interest. The return on investment from investing would not make up for this debt, and the interest would also compound so fast you may not even be able to pay off the loan. For example, let's say you borrow $1 million at 5% annually for your business. The ROI from your business is 20, and your net gain is the ROI minus the interest rate. So that is 20 minus 5 with a net gain of 15%. This is called arbitrage, borrowing money to make more money. That way you don't have to wait to save $1 million before starting your business. Now let's talk about co-signing a loan. A co-signer means that you have someone else sign the loan with you. For example, that can be a business partner, a family, or a friend. However, I don't recommend co-signing a loan for that family or friend. If they don't pay, that means you have to, or else your credit is ruined, and this can also destroy the family and friendship. Likewise, never have a family and friend co-sign a loan for you. If you don't pay, they have to, or else their credit is ruined. I recommend that the co-signer should only be with business partners. Loaning money is another way of making money because they will pay you the interest. However, I only recommend loaning money to others if you have a lot of extra money, because there is a risk that they don't pay you back. As a rule of thumb, if it's a family or friend, have the expectations that they just don't pay you back. Also remember about budgeting, because you have to have a plan for money. This includes having enough money to pay for your living expenses and avoiding taking bad loans. You also want to have good loans with the plan of investing. Also remember to calculate your loan payments into your expenses. For example, you have a business selling phones and you took a loan to start that business. The business sales calculates to $20,000 per month, and your total expenses include the loan payments. That totals to $12,000 per month. So your profit is $8,000 per month. Now, at the end, let's do another practice question. Open up a compound interest calculator, start with an initial deposit of $100,000, and your contributions will be $100,000 annually. The time span will be for 10 years, and the rate of return will be 10%. The compound frequency will be monthly. Now, calculate how much you have at the end, and compare that to how much you'll have with no investment. Let's pause for you to calculate. So let's take a look at the answer. After filling out all the inputs, you'll get the total result of over $2 million. Next, let's compare that to if you were to not invest. So, after not investing, it will be about $1 million. So, you'll have almost doubled your money by investing. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed our video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support our channel, you can check out our Patreon. Also check out our other YouTube channel and Instagram. Thanks for watching.